Hello and welcome to the channel. Thank you for tuning in, and a big welcome to people who are just new to the channel and subscribe. Thank you very much for this. Today is an episode where I've been out this morning for a little walk at Haran Hill and just to check out to see if I find any mushrooms, and I did. And I came across some blushes, some grey spotted amanitas. I think that's what we're going to discuss. Or is it maybe the panther cap? So we're going to discuss this in a minute. I brought some samples. So yeah, I found some red cracking boletes, and currently there's a explosion of rustlers or brittle gills. So, but that's the main ones I found today. So I will leave some pictures, but yeah, so it's a lot of poisonings happening by confusing IDs. So especially in the Amanita family, we have the blusher, the grey spotted Amanita, and the panther cap. So the grey spotted Amanita is also or people call it the false panther cap. And yeah, because they are very, very close when you find them, to ID them. The IDs, there's only maybe one or two very important IDs, otherwise they could look exactly the same. So yeah, a lot of people maybe too enthusiastic or not cautious enough or overconfident, and people need to be careful, because even the blusher, even though it's a very good edible mushroom, I personally don't collect it. The reason is, I mean, I tried them before, they're very good edible, but the reason why I do not collect them is, in some state, especially when they're very young, you can confuse them for something else, and the risk is too big for me, too great. But also to find a blusher in a good edible state without any worms in it is very, very, very hard here. You might have to pick 10 to get maybe one or two, because the worms and the maggots, they're lining up before the mushroom even grows, because they love them. So I just enjoy the view of them and take pictures and leave them. Yeah, for me it's not worth the risk. So right, let's have a look into more details, because I brought some specimens with me. Okay, let's get you close. Right, just lay them out here for a minute. Big one. You probably see it better from that side. One more here. Right. Okay. Let's pause for a minute and see if I've got a view. Yeah, that should be right, the view. Right, Uh, on the first view, you probably can spot the blusher straight away, because the coloration, or the red and pink coloration, gives them away. This one and this one, right? But in some state, when they're very young and they don't have any colorations, sometimes it proves a bit difficult. There are some difficult. So let's first of all, okay, we identified these two as the blusher because of the pink and red colorations, because the gray spotted Amanita and panther cap will not change color when they're bruised or animal attack. Okay, so this one's the second idea now would be to have a look. So when you collect them and you dig them up, you have to dig all of it. Don't cut them, you need to get the bottom out as well. Because this one is just a form like as a bulb. It's just a bulb, there's no ridge or any sac formation, and so, but with virtually all of also the blusher, it's kind of rough under the cap, and when I can see here, I don't know if you can pick it up, it's a bit smoother but it's still a bit rough above the skirt. Right, so, and the gills are whitish color, crowded from and not attached to the stem. And right, so let's look at the skirt. Yeah, you can see the lines from the skirt. Actually, yeah, you can see, well, what's called striations. You can see the line ridges there on the skirt. So that's another ID from the blusher. So let's have a look at the other ones. See, on this skirt, excuse me, the skirt is hardly visible, it's dry. Again, it's smoother above the ring and rough and rigid on below the skirt. And same crowded gills, not attaching to the stem. And again, we can see here it's a bulb rather than a sac. And the same on here. So basically it's the same. Let's try to have a look, or maybe on this one is better. Let's have a look at the, yeah, it's very, very smooth above and rougher on the, but I can see some striations here. So, and they're running from the stem down. So yeah, you can see the striation. So that tells me it's a grey spotted Amanita. And also, if you look at the cap, it's much darker than from the blusher. But that can be confusing sometimes, because they can get dark as well. Also, if you look at the spots, they're on the grey spotted Amanita, they look more like whitish, greyish. Yeah, it's very hard to determine. It's like a dirty white, and but that also is not a giveaway. So the important bit, so we haven't got a panther cap here. They're not very common. I only came across them once, I think. Yeah, once. Maybe twice, I don't know, without realizing. So the grey spotted Amanita is also edible, but for me the risk is too high. It's too great, because the only difference would be, and they all three have white spores. A white spore print. All three of them has a white spore print, and they might have a different shape to the spore, so you would need a microscope. But the average forager will not take out a microscope to look at the spores. So the only difference would be, for 100% ID, you will have a sac, and then you will have like a type of what you call a recess, so there wouldn't be like a smooth transition. It's more like yeah, there'll be like a gap, and the skirt will be smooth. There'll be no citations, no lines or tiny little ridges, and that virtually is the only difference. But say the skirt could be fallen off, washed away, or things like that, so it's very, very dangerous. So for me, I only collect them to show it to you, and I'm reasonably experienced, not an expert, but I will not collect these. Yeah. So I don't want to put you off collecting them. If you like eating the blusher, you're very welcome, but I'm just putting out a warning that a lot of poisoning happened because of the false IDs. Nevertheless, they're nice to see, and so I hope you found this useful. Any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer them if I can. So, but normally the blusher you can see very straight away, even on the younger ones, they turn pinkish, reddish on bruising and when you cut them. So, but I've seen them also, it's like coming out maybe in the I put a picture up from really, really young ones. You wouldn't be able to tell it, I don't think. Maybe the expert can, but I wouldn't be able to, just from when they come out of the ground from the top. Maybe not, I don't know. So yeah, thank you for watching, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye bye.